Welcome back to Excel, a mental evolution podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Seth Rose. And today is episode 52, where we're continuing the Tranquility by Tuesday time management strategies by Laura Vanderkam. And for this one, she talks about this idea of one big adventure, one little adventure. And I love this one. And what she talks about is how new experiences really help combat boredom and burnout. So, novelty in general really helps stimulate dopamine, helps us re-engage, helps us stay focused, helps us be creative, helps us connect. And experiencing something new each week, no matter how small, will ultimately help us stay engaged and mentally fresh. This can be really important for athletes, especially with like the day-to-day grind, quote unquote. I don't really like that word, but you know what I mean. The day in and day out of practice and competing and training. Same thing with those who are kind of getting after it at work. The weeks are flying by, and really, we can use this idea of one big adventure and one little adventure each week to help us with this novelty. Oftentimes when people say that like time is going by so fast, or they don't remember things or remember events vividly, it's typically because they are not having these novel, quote unquote, adventures, really. So they've done some studies on like memory perception, and they show that new experiences or novel experiences typically will stretch out our sense of time, and it also help us remember events more vividly. So as you can imagine, experiencing a new adventure, something that you've never done before, is going to be much more memorable and vivid when you're going and talking about it with family members and loved ones. And so some tips that she has here for this one big adventure, one little adventure, is she says to plan new experiences each week. And maybe this is part of your planning on Fridays tip. Check that other episode out if you'd like, where each week you're going to include one larger outing, like maybe exploring a new town or a new area, or going somewhere that you've never been. And then also one small change or experience, maybe trying a different route to work, or a different recipe for dinner one week, and just to add that novelty to your weekly routine. And if you miss one larger outing, but you're doing a smaller one, and maybe you're doing two smaller ones, that's okay. Second thing is she recommends involving friends and family to share these adventures and creating memories with. We know there's a lot of research in social connection and it being one of our basic human needs that we have. So adding friends and family to this will enhance the social bonds and making those experiences much more meaningful. And now if you're having trouble of, figuring out what small thing to do and what large thing to do, is maybe you keep a running list of ideas of small and big adventures to choose from. So that way, when you go to your planning, you can figure out what the best thing that week is for your family or for you. So maybe, driving to a new state line to go check out, something in the neighboring state that you've always wanted to do, isn't going to work because your kids have soccer practice or soccer games, right? But popping over to a couple of towns over and having lunch at a cool spot that you've never been to and exploring the downtown region might be more suitable. So that's what we have for this week, is planning one big adventure and one little adventure to stimulate more novelty and, changing things up, stretching our sense of time. We'll catch you on the next one.